I'm glued and I'm feeling alright. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Oh, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, you're good. Dustin, so what were you saying about that? This is the quadrants? Okay, sure. All right, let me just sit up nice so you can see the merch.
Hey, hey, I love to see it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Love
QR code, so anybody. Yeah. Appreciate. Hey, Dustin, appreciate it. Thank you. All right, let's do a little countdown here. All right, so
wow.
wow, what a week! How was your week going?
It's going good, but it's crazy in the sports world. Like, my goodness.
Yeah, crazy is right. It started last Saturday, coming into this week. Super Bowl week got overshadowed with all the trade talk, and we got suspensions. Hey, you're kind of hot with your mic. I don't know. Let me bring you
Oh,
down here on the level. There you go.
bring me down.
All right, I'm gonna kick us off here.
Alright.
Five five before the top of the hour. I'm gonna turn that down. I don't know if that your audio is like really peaking. Yeah, I don't know what's causing that, but like it's like super loud in my headphones.
How about now? I mean, I can put my mic right here.
Okay, that does sound better. It's not jumping up and down. I
Perfect.
guess on the audio. All right, T minus 20 seconds here. Check that. Welcome to another installment of the 94 podcast. I'm joined here with my co-host Jim Bushy. I'm Brooke Edel. Um, happy happy Super Bowl weekend to all our
Happy
fans.
Super Bowl weekend.
Happy Super Bowl weekend. So much to talk about. I know it's been a big sports week with trades, the NBA. We got NHL to talk about. Crazy story about a guy that got a root canal, a couple stitches, comes back. Jim, you're gonna share that story later on. But yeah, I'm
Well,
really
definitely.
I'm really excited about what this weekend has in store. We're planning to hopefully have Coach Chauncey Williams Bearfield join us virtually. So if we can get him on, that would be awesome. We'll do our picks for the Super Bowl. Also, a little chatter of the halftime with Kendrick Lamar, and what the commercials are going to look like in regards, and the Hall of Fame. We cannot forget about the Hall of Fame here on the 94 podcast. Congratulations to Jared Allen for making it to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Antonio Gates, Sterling Sharp, former Packers wide receiver, the first brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the Sharp brothers. Very cool for Antonio Gates, all-time great tight end. Um, you know, played with the San Diego Chargers. It's kind of crazy to think about that. That's not a team anymore. They're now the Los Angeles Chargers. But yeah, I remember. Well, I guess two out of the three playing. I'm not able to tell you anything about Sterling Sharp's brief career, but a brilliant career where I don't know. This is a crazy stat, but like I feel like it's worth at least just doing a quick shout out here for Sterling Sharp. But um, something that I wanted to kind of focus on is like how special this was for Sterling Sharp. The 65 plus receiving touchdowns in his first 7 seasons that matched Marvin Harrison, Hall of Famer, Larry Fitzgerald, future Hall of Famer. So Sharp's 595 receptions from 1988 to 94 were the most in NFL history to that point by a player in his first 7 seasons. He ranked number 2 behind only Jerry Rice. And Jerry Rice knows a thing or two about Super Bowl weekend. So he was number 2 behind Jerry Rice for receiving yards and receiving touchdowns by an NFL player in his first 7 seasons to that point. So he had a Hall of Fame career. It was truncated. That's what it was.
It was cut short too, playing only 7 seasons. Being in Green Bay and being in the news, you get to hear all these stories, and we have one of our sports guys in New Orleans talking to him, and he wasn't even thinking about Hall of Fame. He was like, it's probably not gonna happen, but we'll see. And so, very excited for him. 100% deserve it. Not a lot of people do get in. Jared Allen, love watching him play growing up. Even seeing the highlights of him, it was awesome. Congratulations to all 4 recipients of being in the class of 2025. Everyone deserves it. If you get told you're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, you're getting a bust.
Eric
Not
Allen
everyone gets
too.
it.
Eric Allen did get inducted as well. So all 4, correct.
Oh yeah. So give them all a round of applause, because not everyone gets into the Hall of Fame. Not everyone gets in the record book. Not everyone will get immortalized. This is a big achievement. Congratulations to every single one of them. They all deserve to be in there.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Eric Allen. Definitely wanted to make sure that we recognize him. Former Philadelphia Eagle from 1988 to 94. Played for the New Orleans Saints from 1993 to 1997. Then he played for the Oakland Raiders from 1998 to 2001. Yes, sir. A second-round pick by the Eagles in 1988, Allen was a study in consistent excellence and durability. He was approaching the 20-year deadline as a modern-day era candidate, having played his last game in 2001. Allen played at least 15 games in 13 of his 14 seasons. 14 seasons for a cornerback? That's unheard of. He had a 6 interception season in 2000 at 35 years old, and he returned 4 of his 6 interceptions to the house for touchdowns in 1993, one of his 6 Pro Bowl seasons. So congratulations to Eric Allen and his family, making it to football heaven in the Hall of Fame. Why he was elected? He had 54 career interceptions, ranked 21st all time, and 14 of the 20 players ahead of his time, ahead of him, are in the Hall of Fame. So that made sense. In regards to what Allen was able to do, he has intercepted Hall of Famers John Elway, Steve Young, Jim Kelly, Troy Aikman, and Brett Favre. He led the NFL in interception returns in 1993 when he had the 4 touchdown returns and had a 3-touchdown season in 2000. That is awesome. Signature moment is for Allen, a 94-yard pick 6 against Boomer Esiason and the New York Jets in 1993. Eagles quarterback Randall Cunningham had suffered a broken leg earlier in the game, and Allen's play won the game. Afterward, Allen ran to Cunningham, who was on crutches on the sideline, and handed the quarterback the ball. That is a signature, for your career. That's a signature. And I'll leave you with a quote from Eric Allen. I told myself long ago, if you can go through a complete season and can't get more than 2 interceptions, it's time to go. I probably could have played for another 3 or 4 years, but my standards had to be met for me to play. And this is what Allen was all about, setting a standard for himself. That's why he chose to, cut his career short. Well, not short, but he chose to retire after the 2001 season. Let's do a profile on Jared Allen because Jared Allen, anything about TCO, and you got to come out to Egan and check out TCO. It's exit 69 right next to TCO, exit Dodd Road. So I think they got to maybe rename that at some point, like a honorary, like Allen exit, Jared Allen exit, or Jared Allen Highway. But Jared Allen, defensive end, played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Little theme here. We got Eagles and Chiefs getting inducted, like former Eagles and Chiefs. So Jared Allen, defensive end, Kansas City Chiefs from 2004 to 2007, and he was a force with the Chiefs. And then he signed with Minnesota in free agency from 2008 to 2013 and was dominant, leading the NFL in sacks. He had a cup of coffee with the Chicago Bears from 2014 to 2015, and then joined the Carolina Panthers and made it all the way to Super Bowl 50. Unfortunately, coming up short with the Cam Newton-led Carolina Panthers. But Allen, a fourth-round pick by the Chiefs in the 2004 draft, was a high-energy, high-intensity player with a high motor, and he was one of the most coveted players for any defensive coordinator. A down-to-down, game-to-game, season-to-season impact pass rusher. Allen's 136 career sacks ranked 12th since sacks became an official stat in 1982. Of the 11 players in front of him, 10 are in the Hall of Fame, and Terrell Suggs, who's 8th, was a finalist this year. Why he was elected. Allen's 4 career safeties are a league record, and he routinely created turnovers. He forced 32 fumbles, deflected 58 passes, intercepted 6 passes, and recovered 19 fumbles in his career. His 22 sacks in 2011 are tied for the 4th most in a single season. He also had 8 seasons with at least 10 sacks and led the league twice in the category in 2007 and in 2011. These accomplishments followed a rocky off-the-field start to his career that included 2 DUI arrests and a suspension for violating the league's drug-alcohol policy. He became a 5-time Pro Bowler and 4-time All-Pro selection over 12 seasons. Signature moment for Jared Allen. Allen would punctuate sacks by pretending to rope a calf, a homage to his upbringing on a horse ranch. He would even throw his hands up at the end, as calf ropers do, to stop the clock in rodeo competitions. So. And as a Vikings fan, that was routine. Every week you would see a huge play with Jared Allen. You would see that celebration, that sack celebration, and that's so cool that, that's his moment. And then a quote from Jared Allen, and then we'll move on to the next Pro Football Hall of Famer. You go through life, and there's a maturation process. I made some mistakes early in my career, and you learn from those, and you grow from them. Minnesota was a place that helped me grow as a man. When I got there, I was in the process of changing some habits and growing up. To have guys that are doing it right around you is phenomenal. Jared Allen retired with the Vikings. I would almost say that he's probably going to go in as a Viking.
I would assume he will too.
Yep. I mean, when he got inducted, I think I was there a few years ago when he got inducted into the Vikings Ring of Fame. He rode in on a horse, so it was
that's
cool.
how you do it.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Yep. Antonio Gates, tight end. We talked about him. San Diego and Los Angeles Chargers from 2003 to 2018. So his whole career, one team. You don't get that anymore in the NFL present day. Gates also played basketball in in college. He played for the Kent State Golden Flashes. And, in his career with the Chargers, I mean, he had success in basketball. He made it all the way to the Elite Eight in 2002. But he was signed by the Chargers as an undrafted free agent in 2003. So this is such a cool story. He finished his NFL career with 955 receptions. And that's coming from an undrafted free agent that played basketball, college basketball. The fourth most for a tight end in the NFL history, and 116 receiving touchdowns, the most for a tight end. Gates and the Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez are the only tight ends in league history with more than 100 career touchdown catches. Excuse me. Why he was elected? Gates was an 8-time Pro Bowl selection, 6-time first or second team All-Pro. He had 21 multi-touchdown games, fantasy monster, and 8 seasons with at least 8 touchdown receptions. He holds the Chargers franchise records for receptions and receiving yards. I think Ladd McConkey's probably going to pass him up eventually, but still impressive.
Yeah.
With 11,841 yards. The Chargers won 4 AFC West titles in Gates' career, and his 89 touchdowns on throws from Phillip Rivers was an NFL record for a quarterback-receiver duo at the time of his retirement. It ranks 3rd now. Signature moment for Antonio Gates. He had many over his career. One-handed grabs, tipped passes he turned into big plays, box outs in the end zone against overmatched defensive backs. But his 7-yard touchdown reception on September 17th, 2017, gave Gates 112 in his career and broke Gonzalez's record for career touchdown catches by a tight end. A quote from Antonio Gates, he was so hard to cover that we had a Gates rule in the quarterback room. We would, this is actually a quote from Phil Rivers, excuse me, just want to make sure it's correct. So Phil Rivers was quoted, he was so hard to cover that we had a Gates rule in the quarterback room. We would talk through the reads and the plays. They all had a Gates rule. It's pretty much meant if he's one-on-one, throw it there. That's from Phil Rivers. I love that.
That's a great one.
That's a great one. And Sterling Sharp, full circle. We come back to Sterling Sharp here. We started with Sterling Sharp, and then we'll close here with Sterling Sharp. Like we said, wide receiver, Green Bay Packers. Before he had to retire due to congenital neck condition. So it was a congenital neck condition that forced him to retire. But Sharp's career was cut short. Like I said, the congenital neck condition, but only Jerry Rice caught more passes and had more touchdown receptions in the 7 seasons that we mentioned at the top. And he was a 5-time Pro Bowl selection and 3-time All-Pro selection. Why he was elected, as we mentioned, Sharps, whose brother Shannon is a Hall of Famer, led the league in receptions in 3 seasons, in receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns twice. His league-leading 18 receiving touchdowns in his final season are still tied for 3rd highest single season total in NFL history. Sharp's 108 receptions in 1993 set a single-season record at the time, and he broke his own record the following season with 112. Signature moment for Sterling Sharp. Sharp got to play in the playoffs only once in his career in the 1993 season. Brett Favre's second year as Green Bay's starting quarterback. But Sharp made the most of it with 100-yard games in both of the Packers' playoff games. In the wild card win over Detroit, he became the 9th player in league history to have 3 touchdown receptions in a playoff game. Quote from Shannon Sharp, Sterling Sharp's younger brother. Shannon says, "I'm the only pro football player that's in the Hall of Fame, and I'm the 2nd best player in my own family." That's Shannon Sharp acknowledging his brother in his Hall of Fame acceptance speech. and that is special. In regards to Shannon Sharpe, basically said like Sterling Sharpe was his GPS to navigate the waters, to navigate the roads into the NFL. So that's pretty cool that Sterling Sharpe was the first in his family, and he was the one that Shannon Sharpe was looking up to. So that's pretty cool that they're the first brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
I'll open it up right now to your reactions to this class. I think it's a phenomenal class of Pro Football Hall of Fame inductees.
100%. Like I said earlier, you don't get into the Hall of Fame over just playing. You have to be elected by basically your peers, and you look at all the stats everyone did. Everyone had a standard to get in there. Everyone had either a good career or they had something that everyone wanted. You can't teach that. You can't teach the mentality of Allen. And it's not. I can't speak. Oh, gosh. 1 second. Eric Allen, yeah. You can't teach that motivation. He had a standard for himself. He made sure he hit it, and when he didn't, he held himself accountable. Allen, I mean, come on, the dude was a beast. Coming in, a cup of coffee in Chicago,
Jared
known
Allen.
for his.
Yep.
Jared Allen.
There's two Allens,
known
right?
For,
Eric and Jared. Yep.
I know there's two Allens.
Yep.
Like Jared Allen, he was known for defensive end. He was very good there. Shannon Sharpe comes in and he basically was 65-year complete stat you rattled off earlier. You don't see that anymore. It's hard. It's hard to get that as a receiver.
No.
Then you look at Antonio Gates. There's no loyalty in this league anymore. Everyone's loyal to money. Everyone's loyal to ag. What he did for that team, for the San Diego Chargers, was outstanding. It was always fun to watch. It was always something you knew you could go off at any time.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's well encompassed there, Jim. In regards to like all four, just great stories. I'm really excited to see this induction. Sterling Sharpe, Antonio Gates, Jared Allen, Eric Allen. So you get two defensive players, you get two offensive players. It is a balance. It's a yin to the yang in regards to the game of football. No specialist, so there was no like punter, no place kicker. But you never know. That could be changing coming up here in regards to. I know that some punt returners they got in. I think it might have been a year. It might have been a year ago. Devin Hester. So I don't know if there's going to be another Devin Hester, but I think that's one thing that I do miss in the game in regards to the Super Bowl and those Super Bowl moments when Devin Hester is 20 years ago. 20 years ago, if you can remember, the kickoff, Adam Vinatieri, another Hall of Famer, kicks it off to Devin Hester, and Devin Hester, his rookie season, houses it, takes it to the house in the biggest game of his life. Devin Hester, that's such a cool moment in regards to not only you're playing in the Super Bowl, but then when the Super Bowl kicks off, you're ready for the moment and you capitalize. So again, that comes back to setting that standard, and it's really cool to see these Hall of Famers kind of talk about their journey to get to the Hall of Fame with Eric Allen, and then also with Jared Allen, and kind of following his career closely as a Vikings fan. And I'm sure Eagles fans can tell you about Eric Allen. Chiefs fans can tell you about Jared Allen. Chargers fans can tell you about Antonio Gates. And I'm sure in Green Bay, Jim, you hear all the time, Sterling Sharpe. You probably see a Sterling Sharpe jersey almost every month, right?
Oh yeah, almost every month.
Yep, yep. Super cool, super cool. But we have
I
we
do
have
want to bring
yeah. Go
up.
ahead.
I do want to before we leave Hall of Fame. I kind of want to. You and I haven't discussed this, but
Sure.
I want to jump to another league. I want to jump to the Baseball Hall of Fame quickly.
Oh yeah, we can talk.
I don't think we talked about it. Only three inductees, and I think that the Baseball Hall of Fame is a little bit harder to get into because you're only there for 10 years, and then once your 10 years is up, you have to get right in or something.
Absolutely.
So
No.
I want to give a shout out to Billy Wagner. He gets in his 10th and final year. He pitched for the Astros, Phillies, Mets, Red Sox, and Braves.
Billy
A
Wagner,
quick goer.
Hall of Famer. Love it.
He was 47-40 with an ERA of 2.31. Games pit. He was in 853 games and had over 422 saves. The second person in is CC Sabathia. Don't like him. Don't like him because he was a Yankee, but great player. He was a great teammate to be around.
Yeah.
He played for the Indians, Brewers, and Yankees. 251 wins to 161 losses. An ERA of 3.74.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. No, the CC Sabathia is a great
name.
Yep.
Oh gosh, yeah. He started 560 games started with 38 complete games and 12 shutouts.
Just an ace, right?
And then this guy, should have been unanimously entered, but he wasn't. Ichiro Suzuki.
What? The arm slate? Come on. The swinging bunt? Come on.
Swinging bunt.
He needed to be unanimous.
He was off by one. He got the all-time leaders in hits with Seattle. So he played the Seattle Yankees and Marlins. He had an average of 311 average with 2,653 games, over 99,000 at bats, and he only struck out 108 times.
And he batted leadoff, so it's not like he was the bottom of the order. He was getting the most at bats on the team. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just want to give a quick shout out to the baseball. I know we're in football season, Super Bowl today, but we haven't talked about them, so let's give them. I just give them a quick shout out, quick clap to them. It takes a lot to get to a Hall of Fame, no matter what sport it is in.
Oh, absolutely. No, you definitely have to give them their flowers for their greatness and longevity, and being able to excel. For all three, Billy Wagner, CC Sabathia, Ichiro Suzuki, one of my favorite players. I know I'm a Cubs fan, but he was just one of my favorite players. Where, you're catching SportsCenter and you're like, what did Ichiro do today? And I remember as a young boy watching some of the highlights where I think it was in Oakland Coliseum. They don't play there anymore, but where he threw out a guy. I think from I don't know. It was crazy. He threw a laser to throw him out at third, all the way from right field. I think it was just insane in regards to you got to see the brilliance of Ichiro Suzuki early on, and Billy Wagner, and his consistency in being able to close out games. And I know he did play in a World Series, I think back in 2005 for the Houston Astros. CC Sabathia, Cleveland Indians, New York Yankees, Milwaukee Brewers. But he was consistent. He was always the guy that was going to toe the rubber, and he was going to be your ace.
He was also a guy. He was a little teammate guy. He forfeited. I remember one time he forfeited. He needed to pitch 5 innings, and in the third inning, he threw at a guy because his teammate got hit. And he didn't care about the money. He cared more about his teammates. So that's always a guy you want in the dugout, in the locker room, anywhere.
Right. He's got your back, 100%. 100%. Here, I think we're joined. We're gonna be joined here with Coach here. I think Coach is popping up. I think to the server. He just texted me that I'm on, but let me see if I see him. Do you see him?
I don't see him.
I don't see him either. Hold on. Let me text him. I don't see you.
Just have him click on. And I just wanted to bring that up because it's been a while since you and I've chatted, and I don't think we've chatted about this before. I thought I'd bring it up. It was all mixed at the Hall of Fame together.
Oh, absolutely. No, that was well transitioned. And I appreciate you bringing that up. That was good. Let me see if we can get Coach Chauncey to join if possible. I don't know if we are able to create an invite.
I heard something.
You heard something?
Yeah,
okay.
if you.
All right.
I heard something, but I don't see him.
If you can do it, that would be phenomenal. But we'll continue here in regards to. I did hear like a click. You heard a click, right?
Yeah, I heard
something
a click.
Was happening. Yeah.
He sent a message.
He just sent a message. Okay. Where are you seeing this message? Are you able? I see.
It's in our general chat.
General chat. Okay. All right. Can you respond?
I'll send it to you, and you can send it to him.
Okay.
Well, that's him doing going. I want him to.
Okay. I'll send it to him. Appreciate that.
Hopefully that'll get him in. Let's see, how do I put him in?
Cool.
He just needs to, if he sees on the app, if he goes over to the side. There he is.
There he is. Hey, Coach. How you doing?
What's going on?
Hold on. Let me see if I can pop you over here so we can kind of get everybody here on the here. Hold on 1 second. Here. Let's see. We got Coach here. Let's see if we can pull Jim in here because I don't need to be on here. Let's do the full screen. Let's try to pull Jim up here. Can we pull Jim up here?
Hey.
All right. So this is
man. Be gentle when you're pulling me.
I'm just gonna let that go. All right. So, how you doing, Coach?
Great, man. Running and gunning. As y'all know, we got all this snow, but the snow don't stop the show. 2 open houses today, moving and grooving.
I love it. Well, yeah. We're joined here by Coach Chauncey Williams Bearfield, also a realtor. So if you're looking for a home, we'll talk about Luka's issues, looking for someone to sell his home in Dallas. It might be you. It might be I don't know. But in regards to what you got going on, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your craft as a realtor as well.
Yeah, I've been in the business now for a decade. I got a decade in the game, and I've been full-time as a realtor now the last 4 years or so, or almost 5 years now. Full-time, 10 toes down. And I've sold over 100 houses, pushing 110 houses. And I've done that in a variety of ways, helped a lot of people get into homes, as a first-time buyer. And then now here lately, I've been really moving a lot of listings. Listings have been my focus, where, I would help people put their homes up for sale and sell their houses for the highest price and best term. So really, whatever you're looking to do, I can help you. If you're looking to buy a home for the first time, if you're looking to invest in a home as an investor, find a rental property or flip a property, I've done that countless times. And then obviously, if you're looking at selling your home, Chauncey, the realtor, got you covered. Let's get it done.
Love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Now, Coach, question for you. Have you ever sold a house where you're like, damn, I wish this was my house now?
Yeah,
like, do I
man.
really want to put this on the office?
If I'm being honest with you, man, that's one of the benefits of being in this business, that you do get to walk through a lot of really nice properties, and it gives you a lot of motivation. There's been a few properties where I'm like, man, I can see my kids playing over there. I can see me and the wife, snuggled up on the couch watching a movie in there. Man, look at that gym. I can see myself throwing some weight on the rack right there. One property I visited had an indoor basketball court. It was like, woo. My son is a big basketball dude, so I could, see him getting shots up. So definitely, yes, to answer your question, it's one of the benefits of being in this business. It definitely gives you a lot of motivation for what life can be like with a lot of hard work, obviously.
Awesome. Yeah. So where can they find you? I mean, like, are you serving all Minnesota, parts of Wisconsin? Are you also dealing with, I don't know, are you dealing with any of people in Iowa, people that are trying to sell houses in Iowa to move into Minnesota?
Yeah, so I can help you really anywhere in the continental United States. I have connections in most states and can help you put together those dots. If you're looking to move to Minnesota or move out of Minnesota, we can help you with that. Done that countless times with other clients relocating to or from Minnesota. And primarily, on a day-to-day basis, I'm working in the Minneapolis, Twin Cities metro area. We've got a lot of listings. Right now, we're at 8 active listings, 2 of which are under contract, and a couple others receiving offers this weekend, which is exciting. So that'll be 4 sales in 1 week. But saying that to say that we service the whole Twin Cities. So we've got listings and properties all over the Twin Cities. And one thing that we pride ourselves on is being really, really detail oriented when it comes to researching. So making sure that we're doing everything right in terms of pricing the property, marketing the property, strategies to make sure that you get the highest and best result that you're looking for. So really, regardless of where you're at, we can take care of it.
Awesome. And make sure to follow Chauncey, the realtor, also Chauncey, the head football coach of the Hopkins Royals. Any updates on the offensive coordinator? Did anybody take that job?
So we haven't hired anyone yet. We've had a couple of interviews, and we're still in that interviewing process. So we've been blessed to receive some really good candidates. So that makes my job much easier in terms of finding the right person and then having trust in the right person when they come highly qualified. So that's something we're excited about. So hopefully within the next week, we'll have that all locked in.
That's awesome. All right. So sounds like your February is off to a fast start. But I don't know. Did you get to check out the pro football? Kind of get you caught up on the conversation that we're just having right now here on the 94 podcast here in the CCX studios. Just wanted to chat really quick about the Pro Football Hall of Fame inductees. Eric Allen, cornerback, former Philadelphia Eagle. He did play for a couple of different teams, but that's where he started his career. Jared Allen, known most for his time here in Minnesota as a Viking. He got inducted, so those are 2 defensive players. And then the offensive players that got inducted was Antonio Gates and Sterling Sharp, who had he was second to Jerry Rice at the time when he retired. And I know you're a big 49ers fan, so maybe you could speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, so Sterling Sharp is an interesting one. He is regarded as one of the top receivers of all time, but he had a short career. So that's what people have used against him. He had a season or career-ending injury, when he was like 31 or 32. So right at the tail end of his prime, he didn't get to stack those additional years. A lot of receivers had their peak, right? And then, the last 3-4 years, they may go to another team or whatever, and they stack up those stats to kind of help with their Hall of Fame case. He didn't have that opportunity to continue to pile on the stats. So you had to really go based on what he did in a short amount of time. But in that time, he was all pro like 3-4 times. He was a Pro Bowler 3-4-5 times. He played in Green Bay, which is a small market, which is a knock against him as well. You're not getting quite the buzz that you would get in one of the big coastal cities. Your San Francisco's, your LA's, New York, places to that nature, where you're not going to get that exposure. So Sterling Sharp is one that I've followed a lot because I'm a big fan of Shannon Sharp. His podcast, as well as him being on the Undisputed show for all those years. I'm a big fan of Shannon. And even back when he was a player, I followed his career, big fan of his. So he always has spoken over the years about Sterling and how he was getting snubbed. So it's really good to see Sterling go into the Hall of Fame. Long overdue and well deserved.
Absolutely well deserved. And Coach, that makes them the first brothers elected into the Hall of Fame.
And here's the thing. They deserve it. Before Travis Kelce did what he did the last few years, Shannon was always regarded as the top tight end of all time. And then Kelce, this new era, new age, all the receiving yards he's able to get and accumulating wide open passing game and playing with Mahomes, he's kind of put that to bed now.
Right.
But so you got arguably, top or number 2 tight end of all time. There ain't no denying that. And then Sterling, again, shortened career, but many people regard him as a top 10 receiver all time. For them to come out of the same womb is crazy. I know their story really well, again, following Shannon, from the rural, deep, dark parts of Georgia, coming from nothing, living in a 10 by 10 house with concrete walls and a tin roof where they would frequently get rained on when it rained outside. They famously, or should I say infamously, never had indoor plumbing. Shannon said he was like 19 years old the first time he ever used an indoor toilet.
Wow. That gives you a good perspective of how country their upbringing was.
Yes. So for them to come from that, being raised by their grandmother and living in those types of environments and to achieve what they achieved, man, that it's really special and a very powerful story. I mean, they can overcome everything they overcame and achieve everything that they're achieving because they're not done. I mean, they're done playing, but Shannon is wildly successful off the field, obviously now with all his multimedia stuff he's doing. And then Sterling is a really big-time businessman and doing a lot of things behind the scenes, making power moves from a business standpoint. So it's awesome. It's an awesome thing. Moving on to Antonio Gates. Huge fan of him because one of my favorite running backs of all time is LaDainian Tomlinson. Go back in those days where they were tearing it up together with the Chargers. It was run, and throw it to Antonio.
Yep.
And him being a kind of a changing of the guard because, again, Shannon was the first wide receiver style tight end. I guess you can go back to Kellen Winslow. So Kellen Winslow was number 1, who was like a true receiving tight end passing threat. And Kellen Winslow set some crazy numbers back in the day with the Chargers, ironically. And then Kellen Winslow Sr. I'm talking about, not Junior. Kellen Winslow
Senior, right.
OG Kellen Winslow.
Yes.
Okay. And then Antonio Gates comes along after Shannon Sharp is like a third tight end who was really, truly a passing threat and receiver. And then obviously with Antonio coming a little later in the game, he was being split out as a receiver, kind of like that tight end that's been flexed out, put in the slot. A lot of things that they did with Antonio was treating him like he was the number 3 receiver on the field versus the tight end.
Absolutely. So
that was great. And then also his size was crazy. Antonio was a lot bigger than people give him credit for. I mean, dude was like 6'5" and 6'6" and like 280 pounds and can move. Like,
and move, right?
Really move. And short yardage, red zone stuff. They would put him at receiver, run fades to him. He was really, truly a dynamic presence as a tight end. So that was a no-brainer for me to see him get in. And then Jared Allen, I mean, his numbers say it all. Well over 100 sacks, did it in multiple places, started in Kansas City. A lot of people didn't, again, small market, and back in those days, they weren't that good. This is pre-Mahomes, pre-Andy Reid.
Right.
So back in Kansas City, they had a kind of that lull for a number of years where they weren't that good. But he was tearing it up at the end. Came to Minnesota, set the world on fire, and then he kind of was a little bit of a journeyman the last few years, bounced around a little bit. But clearly, numbers are out of this world and definitely deserves it. So I thought this is a pretty strong class, in my own opinion.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's a strong resume for this class. Yeah. That's awesome. That's a good recap. And are you a big baseball guy? We did cover a little bit of the baseball Hall of Fame.
Not really. So I would not be a valuable resource on the basketball.
Okay. No.
I mean the
baseball.
Excuse me, the baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball.
No, you're all good.
The basketball. I can talk a lot there, but baseball.
No, you did a great job recapping the class of 2025 for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It was definitely a golden age of the AFC West in regards to the cultivation of tight end talent. They literally had Shannon Sharp, all world, Tony Gonzalez, all world, Antonio Gates, all world. Right there, like before you got the Travis Kelce's and the Rob Gronkowski's, maybe the Brock Bowers who just debuted this season. In regards to just like great talent, consistent play, they do call it the tight end wasteland. In regards to you're not gonna get too much of output because you're looking at a lot of these players are not relied on to be the big stat getters in regards to the position. So very happy to see all four get into the Hall of Fame. But let's talk about this week, Super Bowl week. We're here, gentlemen. We're here.
We're here.
Jim, you want to say something?
I'm just saying, we made it. We made it to the promised land. We made it to the point where it's
a little hot.
This is all for what we were watching for. The game of the game. It's something that everyone's looking forward to. I'm looking forward to. Everyone for different reasons. Some people are for the Chiefs. Some people for the Eagles. Some people for commercials. Some people for the food that gets brought out. So it should be a national holiday. I'm surprised it hasn't been.
It's an unofficial, I think, a national holiday at this point. Any plans? I guess we can kind of kick off with that in regards to like how are you guys gonna consume this game? Any plans, Jim? Since I have you up, what are your plans for the game? You're in Green Bay, so virtually we'll share the Super Bowl.
So I'm going to my uncle's. I have food. I went to the grocery store. I stocked up on food I need to get. I stocked up on what I need, and just gonna go chill with my uncle. Who's gonna have good food, enjoy the commercials, and try not to watch them ahead of time.
Nice. Coach.
For me, we're having a Super Bowl party over at my place, family and friends and things like that. It's kind of become an annual tradition. If I didn't host it, we might have some kind of mutiny in our hands where people will be looking at me crazy.
It's like that.
So, yeah, I mean, it's solid.
It's solid. Okay.
We're giving the people what they want. I always provide like a nice base of wings. So typically it's Wingstop. Get plenty of wings, and then we ask people to potluck it. So everybody brings a thing or two, share. Everybody's kind of got their thing. People are good with dips. Some people are good with like sliders, whatever. people have brought in the past, fried rice and different kind of little things that they're, everybody got their couple little go-to dishes. Oh, one of my boys, this dude makes some killer mac and cheese, dude. Like,
okay.
Man, some of the best mac and cheese you'll ever have. And this dude makes mac and cheese with crawfish meat in it.
What?
Ooh.
Yes.
I
So
need
like
to go
some
play.
New Orleans. Okay. Some New Orleans inspired, crawfish, Cajun deliciousness, man. It's wild. So just kind of give you an idea. So family, friends coming over, bringing some stuff to share, good vibes, good time. For me, last year my Niners was playing, so we went really all out. We had it super duper decorated, all kind of 49er colors and themes and cups and plates and napkins and all kind of crazy stuff. Really went hard, and them fools lost, and but we're not gonna go back to that. It's gonna make me go back to counseling. I just got done. I graduated my counseling for that. I don't want to backtrack and backslide.
You moved on.
But yeah, it's gonna be a good time, man. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. So that leaves me in regards to Super Bowl plans. I was actually just talking to Dustin before we got on the podcast here in regards to something that I just discovered was Popeye's wings and sticky rice. That is like my new go-to combo in regards to the Super Bowl as like a nice dish that you can bring, prepare. But yeah, like I'm gonna be watching the game out in St. Paul with a couple friends from my fantasy league. Just a cool vibe, really low-key, chill. But it's just gonna be really good conversation in regards to like, hey, who do you want to win? Checking out all the commercials. The halftime show in regards to what you're seeing in the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar. That's something that I'm looking forward to. It's in New Orleans, so when you're talking about crawfish, I'm like, that's a perfect setup. You get soul food, soul bowl. There's so much going on in regards to Super Bowl Sunday. And I'm really excited for it. I mean, if you could check out the lighting back here, I definitely want to give a quick shout out to the entire CCX studio staff members. We got the green and we got the red for the Eagles and Chiefs for Super Bowl 59. Last time there was a Super Bowl here, I think there was a blackout, if you can recall. It was the Harbaugh Bowl. There was a blackout. I don't know. There's a lot of controversies there in regards to, hey, what was the NFL doing at that time? But like, I know that was your Niners. I'm not trying to put you back into that shock and awe.
Hey man,
yeah, but
you already
that was history. That's history.
Yeah, man. It's funny you mentioned that. As soon as you said blackout, I knew exactly where you were going. But we good though.
We good though. Hey, make sure to drink your water. Make sure to drink your water. Don't black out Super Bowl Sunday. Don't black out. All right. That's just a PSA to everybody that's enjoying beverages. But I wanted to read this good word though, real quick. Ahead of all the talk that we're about to have about the Eagles, Chiefs, I just want to say we need to focus on these words here. Quit being paralyzed by your past. Grace offers you life in the present and a guarantee of a future. So these are words that I believe that everyone that's playing in this game, I feel like they should take it to heart in regards to understanding your history does not dictate your future. And I feel like with the Eagles and the Chiefs going into this game, what happened 2 years ago doesn't mean anything. Doesn't do anything for you in this game. But all right, that'll open up the discussion here. Super Bowl 59. What do you expect, Jim, Coach? Who wants to lead this off?
Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, Coach, you're the guest.
All right. So my expectations are, I think it's going to be a pretty exciting game. It's definitely one of those games where styles make fights. So you have a dynamic running team with the Philadelphia Eagles, who are heavily dependent upon Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts to run the ball, set the tone, playing behind a running game, explosive passing from the Eagles. Typically, when they throw it, they're trying to catch a one-on-one matchup with their dynamic wide receivers down the field for big chunk plays. Meanwhile, you got Kansas City, who's a dink and dunk, kind of a death by 1,000 paper cut style team, where it's not going to be a whole lot of glitz and glam and explosive plays, but they're going to force you to be disciplined for, who knows, 60 to 80 plays on offense and force you to make a mistake that they're going to take advantage of by not containing Mahomes in the pocket, letting him scramble, giving Travis Kelce opportunities over the middle by having breakdowns in coverage. Xavier Worthy, with all his speed and dynamic explosiveness, him breaking a big play on either a gadget play or it's a shot down the field. And then you got some legitimate possession receivers with Juju Smith-Schuster and gosh, I'm blanking on his name. I can't believe I'm getting his name.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, D-Hop. My bad. I'm blanking out.
You good?
With D-Hop.
D-Hop.
No, they're no longer burners, but they definitely are guys that eat up first downs. They're sure-handed, and if you're not disciplined, they can make a big play if you're not disciplined in executing your assignments on defense. So I think it's going to be a really fun game to watch, especially for football enthusiasts to kind of see some of these chess matches playing out. The Eagles' defense is very aggressive, dynamic pass rush. If you look at the Chiefs as a whole, their weakness all year has been protecting Patrick Mahomes consistently. It's been better here in the second half of the year when they moved Joe Tooney out the left tackle. He was an all-pro guard and made him a tackle. That's helped a lot. But Philadelphia's got 3 or 4 dudes that can legitimately get after the quarterback, so you can't just, hope to block one dude and think that's going to do the trick. They have pass rushers interior for Jalen Carter, and they have a couple of really athletic, fast cats off the edge. They're a top 5 sacking team in the league. And they've got some really good linebackers as well who cover a lot of ground. So that's going to be a matchup for the linebackers and safeties to match up with Travis Kelce. They have Zach Bond. They got a number of cats in the secondary that can match up with Travis Kelce as well from a safety or nickelback perspective to kind of take him away. So I think it's going to be a really interesting, entertaining game. We'll get into predictions and stuff, I guess, after, but that's just kind of my overview and big picture view of the game.
Very cool. Awesome. Love it. All right, Jim. It's on you.
I mean, I had to agree with Coach for everything. Let's start with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are coming into this game. You knocked off your AFC rivals, the Bills. You're coming in on a high. You win that game. Tight, close game. Holmes, he can kill you with his arm. He can kill you with his legs. He can kill you with over 100 ways to pick apart your defense. And it's going to be a tough time for the Eagles defense. They have to cover all those wide receivers and Kelce and Hunt. You have to worry about the running game. You have to worry about everything. So it's not like you pick apart. And like Coach said, how do you beat the Chiefs? You get to Mahomes. And you go to the defense of the Eagles, you have multiple guys who can rush. You have multiple guys who can break that line and get into pocket and disrupt Mahomes. And that's how you beat them. If you put pressure on Mahomes, you're going to beat them. Now, to flip the ball around, look at the defense for the Chiefs. I mean, they're pretty solid this whole season. They really don't give up a lot of chunk plays. They make you scrap and earn every yard. And when it comes to the Eagles, yeah, you have Barkley. Barkley's going to have a tough time, I think, breaking out in the game. He's going to have to scrap every single yard, and he's going to get frustrated. He's going to get. I think he's used to just breaking free, and he's going to get frustrated, and it's going to affect his play. And then Jalen Hurts, is he fully healthy? Can he run the ball? Can he throw it? Can he be accurate? Can he be the Hurts we saw during the regular season prior to the concussion? And even though I say this every playoff in every game, this is going to come down to mistakes. Who can make the least amount of mistakes?
Well said. Well said. Um, okay, I'm looking at this game in an interesting light. You got two teams that you know, in their NFC and AFC championship games, respectively. The Eagles dismantled a young and upcoming Washington Commanders team, and the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, I guess whatever you want to say about Josh Allen winning the MVP. I know there's a lot of controversy with that too, but I'm not here to stir the pot. But I'll definitely mix it. But mix it up with anybody. But but in regards to everything that I see here with Kansas City going into this game, it's been basically this is the precipice of their dynasty right now. Right after they won last year in Las Vegas against coach's Niners, Travis Kelce was already saying, let's go for 3. We got to go get that 3-peat. NFL history, never been done before. And Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, I know they've been kind of underneath the radar. That's kind of like the fun thing for them all season. They've been kind of under the radar. Stats haven't been, I guess, the best in regards to like a team that's going for something as historic as a 3-peat. It's not like you had the season where I think Brady was going for his second, and funny enough, he did play the Eagles in that game. That was about like 7 years ago here in Minnesota. It was actually Super Bowl 52. But in regards to getting back to Mahomes and the quest that they're on, I feel like the one thing that you're not going to get for both these teams, you're not going to get anybody to flinch because Mahomes, he's been in enough dogfights and he's been, iron sharpens iron. And I feel like those early matchups with Brady has elevated his game. Even though he's lost the Super Bowl, he's lost the AFC Championship, both heartbreakers. It felt like when Mahomes was going up against Brady in the Super Bowl, it was like at that point it was like Rocky. You just wanted to kind of throw the towel in there for Mahomes because his offensive line was decimated. Here he has a great offensive line. He has Isaiah Pacheco healthy. He has Kareem Hunt, back in the fold. So you have options. You also have a pass catching back in Samaje Perine. You got Travis Kelce, all-world tight end. With Taylor Swift or not, he still garners that attention of just being an all-pro. But you also think about this. The Eagles, they're here with Saquon Barkley. They didn't have a running back like this. No knock on Miles Sanders, but he went to Penn State, but he can't fill the same cleats that Saquon Barkley is able to do for the Philadelphia Eagles in this game. They are the opposite of most offenses, where they're looking to set up those explosive plays with their running game. Most offenses, conventionally, they're going for their passing threats in regards to really opening up a defense. So that will be a good chess match to watch between Spags and being able to see if the Eagles' offense is able to really open up the Chiefs and make them vulnerable. You can't. That's the thing in this game. You can't just go up 10-0 and expect the Chiefs to go away because Patrick Mahomes, he's going to have it. Hate it or love it, he's going to have it for this game. But I'll stop there in regards to the hype of this game. We'll do predictions and then we'll close it. I like that. We'll do predictions and close it.
Before we go, just a quick thing. You said something there that Mahomes has now a better offensive line. I think, in my opinion, and this is going to be controversial, he hasn't gone up against a quarterback to take advantage of the weaknesses of the offensive line since Brady. And I know Coach might not be happy with that with Brock Purdy, but I I I think Brady was the last quarterback to pick apart that offensive line.
Okay. Are you talking about the defensive line?
No, yeah, well, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Gotcha.
Brady was the only one to recently pick apart that D line.
Gotcha.
That's how they were able to defeat them.
Gotcha. Absolutely right. They were able to get that late penalty. But yeah, like we can cut to picks here, but like yeah, with Patrick Mahomes, if you can collapse the pocket and get pressure in the middle, and if Jalen Carter has been able to do it all playoffs, so we'll see if he can do it in the Super Bowl. But I'll defer here to Coach here. We can start with your picks, and then we can wrap.
Okay, so my pick is Mahomes. I just learned that some guys, like a Jordan, like a Kobe, you just don't go against him. Brady, Mahomes is one of them guys. So here's how I see the game playing out. I see the Chiefs playing a ton of man-to-man coverage, putting their hands all over those wide receivers for Philadelphia, saying, we're going to load the box and we're going to make it hard for Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley to hurt us in a running game. Now, again, you can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them, the old Michael Jordan.
Right.
But we're going to minimize their ability to hurt us. And what we're going to do, we're going to put ourselves in a situation where we're going to trust our pass rush to take care of business and to get all over Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is also not a prolific passer, very comfortable passer of the football either. So we're going to make him uncomfortable by putting the weight of the world on his shoulders to be a drop back passer against man-to-man coverage with a lot of pressure on him in his face and say, we're going to dare Jalen Hurts to beat us. Okay. Now, aside from that, I see Philadelphia's have to win in the game is by making Mahomes uncomfortable. But Mahomes is the most uncomfortable guy maybe in the history of the league because Brady, we knew his weakness was getting pressure in his face. Every time he struggled, especially in the playoffs, the 2 losses to the Giants especially, the pass rush was all over him. I don't see that being the issue with Mahomes where Philadelphia will be able to harass him enough to make him uncomfortable. Also, I feel that because Mahomes and the Chiefs' strength is really dinking and dunking, a lot of short passes, running the ball, that death by thousand paper cut, that's going to minimize the opportunities for Philadelphia to pin their ears back and go get them and make them uncomfortable. So with that being said, I feel like advantage Mahomes, advantage Chiefs, three-peat's going to happen. From that standpoint, I like the fact that history is going to be able to be made. I think that's cool. I'm not per se rooting for the Chiefs. They done beat my Niners 2 of the last 3 years in the Super Bowl, so I don't got a whole lot of love for them, but I do have a tremendous amount of respect for them. Peace. If I had to give a score, I'd say like 31-17, something like that. I just don't see Philly exposing the Chiefs to where they've been able to expose others to this point. And the Chiefs will minimize their best weapon, which is the running game. And I don't see them putting up prolific yards and touchdowns, scoring through the air on the Chiefs. So I say like 31-17, maybe 31-24 with a late score and rally by Philly trying to make it a game type of a situation. That's my take.
Three-peat. Mahomes, the most comfortable guy. I like that.
Most uncomfortable guy in the history of the NFL.
I think that's a valid point. Valid point. All right, Jim.
This is going to be simple and easy. I don't want to see a three-peat. I don't want to. I'm tired of all this. Tired of all these Chiefs fans going on and on about how Mahomes the best. Well, they played against the best and they lost to the best. There hasn't been a good quarterback to beat them since Brady. It's maybe the New Englander bias. It's killing me to say this. I'm going Philadelphia, 34-31 in overtime. Yep.
He's going fly, Eagles fly, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. All right. Blink if you're being held hostage by some Eagles fans. It's okay. Okay. All right. We'll send some help. We'll send some help. Because, okay. All right. I just flip it around here. That is interesting, though. I thought you were going to go Chiefs. Okay. All right. I'll go with my pick. Barkley. Mahomes. That's what it comes down to. And also the trenches. If they're able to impose their will with Barkley and really dictate the game, they really take the fight. And styles make fights here in this matchup. If they're really able to do what they've been able to do all season with Barkley and just being able to run at will and set up those big plays downfield with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and the legs of Jalen Hurts being able to punish defenses, especially when they get lax, especially in that run pass option. We might see something. I don't know. This is something that I feel could happen because, I don't know. We saw it in the divisional matchup where I don't know if you remember this when Ben Johnson drew up this play where it was a pass. No, it was I think it was they were near the goal line, but it was they did like a fake reverse handoff, but then they had Amon St. Brown kind of come through the crease and then take the ball in almost like a quick pass reverse pass, where you could have Barkley there and then you could possibly have Devontae Smith. I think if they can come up with a couple of gadget plays like that, the Eagles could win this game, but I don't see that happening. I see a three-peat happening. I know. I got to go with the brass and Andy Reid. He's won too many of these games. Mahomes has won too many of these games. Travis Kelce has won too many of these games. It's going to be really tough. But I'm hoping that it's a great game. I think it should be a great game. It's like a 1.5 point spread. But I'm going Chiefs. And I said this earlier. A lot of people are probably not going to be too excited about this. I got Chiefs winning big, 49-31. I feel that Spags is a mastermind, and he's going to force Philadelphia to play with their left hand. He's not going to give him Barkley as an option to take down the Chiefs. So they're going to force Hurts to beat him with their passing game. And I don't think that's going to be enough, especially with Chris Jones and James Karlaftis. Karlaftis is just turning into a beast of his own. So, yeah, I'm going Chiefs in regards to what they've been able to do in these games. And MVP, MVP goes to Mahomes. Oh yeah, you guys can do MVPs, and then we'll touch on Luka and AD trade as well. We're about to sign off here.
So
I'm gonna
MVP,
go with. Go ahead, Coach.
I think it's short and sweet. If Chiefs win, it's going to be Mahomes. There's no question about it.
If Chiefs win, Mahomes. But if it's Eagles, it's gonna be Barkley.
Agreed.
Agreed. I agree with
Eagles
that.
and Barkley.
Yep. Okay. NBA trade, real quick. We're wrapping up here on the 94 podcast. Luka, earth-shattering trade, gets traded. He had a $15 million home. He's 25. He is thinking that he's going to be the franchise player, the face of the franchise for the Dallas Mavericks. Nope. You're getting traded to Los Angeles Laker. Luka Doncic, you are now a Laker. And Anthony Davis, you are now a Maverick. Your take, real quick, and I guess like what your outlook is. And the Timberwolves are going to be playing tonight. Naz Reid bobblehead. Come find me. I will be there.
Super quick on the trade. I think it's actually a great trade for both teams. I think AD reached his ceiling with the Lakers. They've been trying to have him take over the team for the last 2 or 3 years. Something about him just will not step into that role and be the alpha dog. And looking towards the future, he's already 31, soon to be 32. So on the tail end of his prime, has a couple of good years left, but they were hoping the last couple years would be those big years that AD could lead the charge and help them get back to championship form. That didn't happen. So to invest in the future, and that you guys may not know, but I am a diehard Lakers fan. Bang Bang Niner gang for football. Basketball, Lakers. If anybody from the Bay Area, if you don't live out in the roughest parts of Oakland, you are a Laker fan. Stop lying, stop the cap. You were
Blow the
not a
whistle.
Golden State fan back in the day. Yeah, exactly. Back in the day in the Bay, the Warriors were absolute garbage, and everybody rooted for the Lakers. Stop the cap. So, Lakers fan, diehard through and through. So I'm very happy they got Luka in there. The next 10 years, maybe even 15 years, locked and loaded. He's going to be around LeBron. He's going to be up under all that championship expectation, be in that environment.
Absolutely.
He's going to get in shape. He's get his little attitude together. He's going to be a dominant force for the next 10 to 15 years. At least 2 to 3 championships, I would say, is pretty realistic in the next 10 years for the Lakers. So very, very happy.
Awesome. Love to hear that. This is nothing new for the Lakers. They've done it with Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Paul Gasol, as recently as 2018 with LeBron James, then 2019 Anthony Davis, then they won in 2020. Now Luka Doncic in 2025. So yeah, it's the Lake Show, baby. Go Lakers. But Jim, final takes here in regards to that crazy story in hockey. I'll let you tell that story and then we'll sign off.
All right, so it's a quick thing. Pulling up a player, James Van Riemsdyk. He took a high stick to the face. So in hockey, they wear visors, half shields, or if they're grandfathered in, they don't have to wear one. Takes a high stick, loses 4 teeth, and needs 30 stitches in a root canal after taking a high stick. And as a hockey player, as they always do, comes back and gets has a game-tying assist. Now, stories all the time you hear. It's crazy. I know one player had a punctured lung, played a full 2-minute shift, and got off the ice. So talk about tough. This is tough. This is one of the toughest sports out there.
Built very tough, built different. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. And then your quick 2 cents, like 2 seconds on Luka. What do you think of that trade?
Well, at least the Red Sox don't have the worst trade in sports history anymore.
All right. Well, with that, I wanna thank you, Coach Chauncey, for joining us here on the 94 podcast. Make sure to follow Coach Chauncey, Chauncey the Realtor. We get all his socials up here, and also make sure to follow Jim Bushy, Bushweiser Light. Also follow myself, the Free Minded, and on both Instagram, also Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. And then also make sure. Oh yeah, we got this here for you. So make sure to like and subscribe. You can also get this QR code. And if you want to get some fly swag, let me know. Like and subscribe, and we'll get you guys the orders out. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoy the Super Bowl. Until next time, we'll see you at the TOP, and we're out.